And now is the time to move on to the leadership session 2. And I would like to invite the moderator and panelists for the same, Ms. Preeti Murthy, the president of Group M Nexus. Yes, we heartily welcome you onto the dais. We are thrilled to welcome Ms. Preeti Murthy, president from Group M Nexus, a firm believer in translating vision into reality. Ms. Preethi's unique blend of extensive experience in strategizing business vision and executing actions across industries has helped achieve growth above and beyond. As a trusted client partner, Ms. Preeti has nurtured an organizational culture comprising client-centric approaches, purpose-driven processes, growth mindset, and innovation. Achieve a position as the top 100 digital influencers in India. Can we have a big round of applause for her? Yes. Top 100 digital influencers in India for creating a more significant impact. Aggressive implementation of weekly PR strategies led to winning awards industry-wide and global recognition. Once again, welcome you onto the dais. You are already here. Please take your seat, and I would like to invite the other panelists to join her. Mr. Arjun Ranga, CEO and Rangarao and Sons. Mr. Vivek Nambishan, Managing Director, Nambishan's Dairy Private Limited. Mr. M.S. Bharat, Founder, Kriyalo. And Mr. Kailash Katkar, Founder and MD, Quick Heal Technologies Limited. Yes, with a big round of applause, let's invite all the panelists for this session too. Yes, and now the stage is yours. Please carry on.
So thank you. I'm really embarrassed because I don't think I deserve the, thank you to them for actually giving me the recognition to be on this stage with such stalwarts. I have worked with Mr. Kailash in the past as well. But I don't think I deserved that introduction at all. And I think we didn't introduce you guys well enough because an entrepreneur is something that we all learned from. I started working in an organization, I still working in an organization, but creating that organization for a set of people like us and make it look magical and successful, and then coming on stage humbly like you all to share your wisdoms. I'm very grateful to be in this seat with today, and I thank Ajay for missing out today's session so that I could be here. So thank you all for having me. I also want to thank Shankar and his team as always for inviting me into the South Summit. I am from Kochi, in that sense, born, brought up to a major chunk of my childhood. So this is homecoming for me. But at the same time, I realize Kochi is not the same. I'm coming after more than 10-15 years this time. And I realize it's a world change, the progress this city has seen, the growth, way of living is far ahead than many metros. We all know it. And it's quite visible. So I'm very happy to be here today. I have a list of questions from Ajay, but forgive me in advance if I'm nervous a bit. Because I was, of course, I knew about all of you, and I knew what and all you've got into by growing your business. Ajay did give me a feedback. But apart from that, actually, I've followed you all in your own journeys. Either some Arjun and Vivek, you've taken a legacy business, transformed it, gave it a shape that is to your nature, vis-a-vis your past predecessor, your parents, and everybody. So how did you bring about your personal vision in both your businesses, respectively? If I can go with you first.
Thanks, Preeti, and good morning to everybody. So my story was, I took over the family company when I was 20 years old, and that was 27 years before. And so when I took it up, uh, this brand Ambitious was started in 1932, and we've already crossed about 80 years. But then um, it was a sick company. Nobody wanted it. None of the family members were interested in the business. All my cousins went abroad to study. They had their MS and they were happy. All the elders were running the business just because they were all a part of it and they inherited the legacy. And so I was the only uh, person from the younger generation who wanted to take up an ailing business. I didn't want to. I could have also chosen the other path. But then the first day I remember when I came into office after taking over the family company and all the shares and it all, my dad and me picked up the whole from the uncle. I understood that we had 6.5 months of salary pending to our employees. We had sales tax not paid. We had PFs not paid for 8 months. We had purchase tax cases. We had pending debts to creditors. We had pending debts to banks. So this was my first day in when we took over the company. But I think it took us 10 long years to come from minus to zero. And I'm so glad that today we are in a position where in Kerala and Middle East we are one of the leading premium brands in terms of ghee. And we service about 30,000 outlets in Kerala. My sales team touches 30,000 outlets every day, and we are in about 18,000 outlets in Kerala, and we are in about 8,000 outlets across the Middle East market as well. I think 2.5 minutes is quite short to take a long story, but I think we've come back. I would also love to hear from Arjun and the others as well. Thank you.
Yeah, I think my journey was very, very different. I was blessed where in the third generation now, my grandfather started the business in 1948. The second generation grew it to be the #1 brand in the country and the largest selling agarbatti brand in the world. We are called Cycle Pure Agarbattis. We diversified quite a bit. The group has multiple business interests ranging from agarbatti to aerospace today. So I did my engineering and then I did my MBA. Our family requires us to work outside before we come back and join the family business. So I was blessed and I was lucky that there was something for me to come back to in India. I joined the business in the year 2000 and father and uncle said, you please script our exit. Tell us when you want us to go out and then you can then take more responsibility. So not just business responsibility, they also transferred their shares on to us in the third generation. So I've been here for the last 25 years and the biggest worry for me every day is the fact that there are 30,000 families dependent on me, but the biggest strength I get also is the fact that these 30,000 families stand behind me no matter what decision I take. So, and I'm blessed with the blessings of our elders and amazing employees. And the biggest challenge for me day in and day out is to ensure that the culture with which the organization was built, the value systems that we hold dear, I continue to maintain and take the legacy forward. Yeah.
That's so. I'm actually having goosebumps, guys. I don't know about you, but this is such a wonderful story. It's real, it is here, and they are here too. So thank you for sharing that in that two minutes. Kailash and MS, you both have built a very successful technology and new age business in a very short time. So to you both, how you started off and how did you guide your teams to achieve your vision and translate it into their vision?
Well, I thought the technologist would go first. Thanks for categorizing me as a technologist. Namaskaram, Vandanam, Namaskar. I am a South Indian from Chennai, born in Trichy, studied in Pune, started my practice in Delhi. I am a lawyer by profession. I am an intellectual property lawyer. So thanks for categorizing me as a technologist because Microsoft possibly recognized our firm as truly paperless, first truly paperless firm in the country. Today we are 22 lawyers, 10 support staff specializing in intellectual property and technology laws based in Chennai. It's quite a task, right? So when you are a lawyer and you have 700-800 clients, not just registering or enforcing brands before Indian courts. If they have 100 brands each, and then you have to see how many different infringers are there, not just in India and every market of the world. It's impossible to go back to traditional ways of carrying on a law firm. And traditionally in India, law firms were controlled and owned by one or two single individuals. So we wanted to be the first professionally owned, professionally driven law firm specializing in full service IP. And hopefully we are already in the right direction, in the right space. Last but not the least, passing on the vision is only threefold, is to find the right leaders, give them the right vision, and most importantly, give them the best resources. So those are the 6 words: right leaders, clear vision, great resources. Rest is all magic. You just need to sit back and let them perform rather than be the... so many parts of the country, most lawyers start becoming God. In God's own country, I can say that when the lawyers forget that they are service providers, they become the problem for the clients. Because what happens is, in a profession, many persons think that I am God, you've come to me, I'll make you wait. So that's the challenge, to break the shackle, make every lawyer or service provider in the office understand that client is God, put them ahead of them, ahead of all of us, and be a service provider rather than becoming the problem, rather than solving the problem they come to us for.
So, first, I would like to introduce myself. I am a Kailash Katkar. I am a founder and managing director of Pickle Technologies. I would like to thank Shankar for really inviting me here and giving me this opportunity to be part of this panel discussion. I know Shankar for last 22 years, and I am part of this summit also. For last 3 summit I was part of this summit. About me as a visionary and taking this vision to that next level of my team or my leadership is something which even I was not aware of what I am doing actually. My company is a bootstrap company, so nobody was really interested in me in investing in my business, and nobody believed in my business actually. So when I used to repair calculators, and when I came across first time computer, I immediately thought that these computers are going to change what I am doing today, so I have to learn computers. So in Pune, when there was no computer classes, no bookshops, such a big bookshops, I went to Mumbai. I got a book and I learned computer repairing, and I started repairing. When I was repairing computers, I came across virus, and I pulled my younger brother, because I forced my younger brother to go to computer education because he was very much interested in electronics, which I used to do the repairing part of it. So he used to see me, and he was more inclined towards the electronics part of it. But I told him that future is all about computers. So he was the first, he was the student of the first batch of computer science in Pune. And I pulled Sanjay there inside. When I was working with my younger brother, at my home, my mom used to look at me, and she used to see me working so hard and doing a lot of work and generating money. And my younger brother used to sit in front of computer entire day, and then she used to come and tell me that, why are you spending your money with this boy? He's just sitting in front of that machine, he's doing nothing, and how is he going to help you? And then it was so difficult for me to really make my parents realize that what we are doing, because all surrounded people, all my relatives, families, nobody knew what we are doing. And we continue doing that. And my focus was always something that, I have to do something new which is totally niche in the market. Nobody is doing it. So sort of like I was hunger for the respect. Like I do something which is different than others. Nobody does it, and that really forced me to learn every time something new. And even my younger brother Sanjay. And today we have a team of around 1,000 people in our organization, and we are continuously innovating. Like in our technology, when we are working on a cyber security, people say that we do innovation now. This person is an IP expert person. He must be knowing that part of it. And people talk about, okay, whatever you do something, please do that patent registrations and everything. Okay, we will do it. We do it. That is a bit difficult, means understanding part of it. A lot of lawyers help me, and I have done a lot of patent registrations also. But in my opinion, whatever innovation we do, the life is not even a one day. It is just for few hours actually. It is just for few hours, because suddenly there is a new attack which is happening from somewhere, and then we have to do the innovation part of it. So in our organization, there's a 24 hours continuous innovation. And even in finance also, people talk about, like, whatever you have designed, developed, you need to capitalize that. I used to ask question, what is a capitalization and how do you do it and why do you do it? And they used to say that this is going to generate revenue for you for a long time. I used to tell them that yes, it will generate revenue, but within next hour I have to generate something, I have to innovate something new. If I don't innovate something new, even this product is not going to sell in the market. So this is my journey actually.
So wonderful to hear that. So it's a constant innovation, everyday culture.
Yes,
I
constant.
understand.
Every hour, every moment actually.
Wonderful. Arjun, you wanted to add something? Yeah. Okay. So that's very interesting perspective, right? Though all are owned businesses, but a very different texture to how you look at the way you manage it because of your individual strength. But also there is, as I see it, right? I'm from a family which was only, corporate jobs, right? I'm married to some family which is, my husband's the only one who's done a corporate job. They all have their business, some business or the other. It could be hotel, it could be a pharmacy, it could be somebody's a doctor, but none of it is a corporate. So they don't understand what I do most of the time. But at the same time, when you scale up and you are scaled business and a large corporate, right? How do you differentiate the emotion of the business to the corporatization of the business? And this is for all of you, the questions are all of you. It's a tough one because I have been taught that don't get emotional about the job, but I'm super emotional about where I work and what I do.
For me, I think I'm an engineer, right? And I've joined a family business with a legacy. We have a solid brand that's created over the years. First, how do I ensure that the brand stays alive, right? 75 legacy is one side, but then we need to ensure that it sustains for 75 years going forward. Every time I ask, everybody says, yeah, from my grandfather's time we've been using, but I want your grandchildren to use. And that's the challenge that I face. So how do you stay relevant? How do you stay current? How do you stay actually updated? So we became sustainable. I think that's one of the core values that I believed we stand for. We are an Agarbatti brand, but we personify hope. People pray for a better future. And I said, if I don't take care of Mother Earth, who else will? So we then became the first zero carbon incense manufacturer in the world. We've also the first FMCG company today to completely offset our plastic footprint. We have the biggest distribution network as well. We directly reach 8 lakh retail outlets in India. We export to 75 countries. We produce 12 billion Agarbatti sticks. And when anybody prays, you're paying 50 paisa for that Agarbatti stick. When you're buying a new computer, when you have a virus attack, when your IP lawyer creates a new patent, when you're, buy a new cow for your dairy, you're going to pray with 2 Agarbatti sticks and break a coconut. And I need to ensure that those 12 billion sticks are taken care by each and every prayer, and your Agarbatti stick can't stop burning, fragrance should be perfect. Yeah. And that's the challenge that we face. So technology has become an integral part of our business. But beyond that, I think what we are here for is to take care of India's prayers and India's dreams for the future. And that's the motto with which every employee in our company works. They say we are not selling Agarbatti, but we are delivering hope day in and day out. And with that in the center, a mother's hope for the children's future, our company works, and our employees are the heart and soul of who we are today. Without our employees, we won't be where we are. Right? Everything else apart.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Any other points if you want to add?
Sure, Preeti. So I have a different perspective because today corporates are looking at the family businesses and corporates are buying the family businesses. So that's the trend that we've been seeing. It's always, so the word corporate is as long as you have a vision, mission, and as long as you have a very transparent business, as long as there's a good work culture, and as long as your intention of is shown in the product that you sell. I think all of us are corporate by nature, and that's what I think it means. And when family businesses, it was always very tough to do that earlier, but today, I think across family businesses, I think there's a lot of work culture and a lot of innovation, there's a lot of technology into it. I think today it's the reverse. I think corporates are looking at the family businesses, and I think we've all been proud to say that we've been part of the family businesses.
So good to hear that.
I'll just quickly add, most of what we do is about emotions. It's emotion of the client because from morning till night they kind of build the brand. And there's a lot of emotional connect between the owner and the brand or the technology because they develop. We as protectors for those need to keep their emotion out of our emotion. Our emotional in the business is to ensure that our culture and values are kept. So there has been instances where we had to work on a particular project. At the end of the project, at the start of the project, we agreed on a fee. When the client said, I'll pay you cash, we said, no, you can take back the file, but we need to keep our values in
place.
So when you scale, when you have 20 lawyers, 40 lawyers, 50 lawyers in more than many locations, unless you have your value and core instincts in place, scaling is not possible.
Understood.
And in terms of emotions, I think while we appreciate and have to give practical advice, we need to keep our client's emotion absolutely in respect, but not get it mixed up with our emotions.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yes, I think all of them have really spoke very well about this part of it. For me, it is a continuous learning journey about this part actually, how to scale the business towards the corporate level and all this thing. See, me being a bootstrap company, I have never worked for any corporate company. So understanding that corporate culture without any experience, so I have to depend on some consultant or some other people. And if you really try to understand their advice, it is very difficult because it doesn't fit with our culture part of it. And as a promoter driven company, it is more from a cultural driven company and more from an emotional driven company, because my vision was always to make sure that the customers should trust us, and that is what I have built in entire my team. But if you have to really scale your business, that corporate culture is very, very important, and that I have learned today. I spend very minimal time in my office. I focus more on strategy part of it because I have strong leaders in my organization coming from a big MNC companies and all this thing. And when I get them in my organization, I saw that the way of thinking, the way of execution, the way of strategy, initiatives building, execution is totally different than what I used to do, and that is really taking company to that next level. I see that you really need to have a balance between the corporate culture and the promotional driven culture, because that promotional driven culture is always a long term vision.
Yes.
And the corporate driven culture is always a short term vision, because they always look for a quarter on quarter result actually.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you really focus on quarter result, you might lose good people in your organization. And if you stick to your promoter driven vision, company scaling, because people don't value your company in that case, because people see that, okay, they don't speak on a quarterly this thing, they don't have a, visibility, they don't give guidance and all these things. So I've gone through this thing and I wanted to learn all these things. That's the reason, even though I was having a good fund with me, still I went for a IPO just to learn all this thing, to understand the investors' mindset, the FMCG people sitting, some of them are sitting here because just now Dheeraj was here. So how they look at the organization, how they judge the organization, how they value the organization. Most of this finance company, they believe that, especially from the Western world, they believe that promoter चलाता है तो something वो उनको confidence नहीं रहता उतना. They want a good promoters, but they don't want that management to be driven by the promoters, And Indian FMCG people, they believe 50-50, that they see that बिना promoter का company चल नहीं सकता properly. But वो जो institutional culture है, that is very important. And उसी में सच में it's like a thin line which you need to balance both to retain a good employees and give that innovation to your product and make sure that customers still continue trusting you, because after all, success of business is customer trust, and customer trust will only happen if you emotionally get connected to the customer, understand the customer problem and solve the customer problem. As Bharat said ki customer is a god first, hum god nahi hai, customer god.
Customer got it. Wonderful, thank you for that. And I think we are kind of time up. But before we wind up, any pearls of wisdom to some budding entrepreneurs here who might be first generation in the coming future that you want to leave behind as a thought, saying these are things that you need to think or do? Each of you, one or two wisdoms.
For a first generation entrepreneurs, I would say that when I started my journey, at that given time, that kind of information, knowledge, that kind of support, that kind of openness from the family and from the government was not there. आज के तारीख में, like, there are lot of facilities, lot of informations are available. Even if the banks are not ready to finance, there are a lot of VC funders and people are there to support you and fund you. There are a lot of mentors available, entrepreneurs who are ready to give freely mentorship to this new generation for a new entrepreneurs. Lot of experienced people who had worked in America and all this thing, they are coming back and at a low salary they are joining to startup companies, they are helping startup entrepreneurs. So I think people like young generation should take that advantage of this thing,
Wonderful, yes.
So I'm somebody who doesn't believe in giving advices, but it's always an experience sharing because each person is different. So what works for me will never work for you. So, but then if I have to put it in a line, I think as long as you're passionate, as long as the fire inside is really burning hard, as long as you're able to sustain that and work towards it, I think you'll just find your path. I think I wish all of you all the very best.
Thank you, thank you.
So, again, taking cue, sharing the experience. A lot of us start organizations by thinking that finance or revenue is important. According to me, what would be important is the purpose and the why. The revenue would follow. When I say what Arjun was mentioning, that we want to be zero carbon emission. Similarly, every organization, and also the previous speaker from the previous also said that we are completely natural, and so if you are an organization, you should know what is the purpose of the organization to the society first, whether you are a product or a service provider, and then inculcate within the organization so that they understand that money and revenue crunching is not the start and end of all. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we have a family office, so we do fund startups. And I've seen the biggest difference. The most successful startups, the youngsters have family support. They're not fighting with their family to run a business parallelly. The second biggest thing that I've seen is they do this full time. The startup is their life. They'll have a job and they'll do the startup on the side. I think these are the two biggest warning signs for any entrepreneur out there. Do it, give you 100%, go wholehearted out. Everything else will fall in place if you believe in your idea, and ensure that you sell your idea of your business first to your family. If your mother, father, brother, sister, wife don't believe you, how can you sell your idea to anybody else? So first sell your idea to your family, get them on board, let them believe in what you want to do, then you will fly. And that's the only two things I want to say to budding entrepreneurs.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, gentlemen. It was a pleasure hosting you all. Thank you, Shankar and team again. And thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
This,
No, I said thank you.
now, I also wanted to thank Shankar and the original Bharat of this country, Bharat, apart from this one. Thank you.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Third belt in.
Yeah. I think we gave up on the bell. So any questions?
I just wanted to tell one thing that you must have got this anti-fraud ka gift from Quickhill. This is a new product of Quickhill which is going to get launched on 10th of October. It is still not available on Google Play, but I just wanted to install this on your mobile. This is an anti-fraud which there are a lot of frauds are happening, like a lot of fraud calls are coming, a lot of fraud SMSs are coming. This will protect you from that. This will give you the alert on time, and I want your feedback to be given on that part. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you so much for such an interesting session and the experience you have shared with all of us. And after this photo session, I would like to invite Mr. Anish Varghese, CMO, Joy Alucas, to please come onto the stage and present them a memento as token of appreciation. Yes. Here we have Mr. Anish Varghese from Joy Alucas. He's the CMO of Joy Alucas, and so I request you to give away a memento to each one of them, all the panelists and moderators. Yes. Now a photo session all together, and we have one more memento remaining, right? Yeah. Yes, a photo session together, please.